Hello. This is just a test to see if this would record and to see what it would look like. So, I'm here to tell you the illustrious story of how I got fired from the Hampton Inn. I accidentally charged a guest card twice. Now that sounds like a really, really bad thing to do, and it's not a great thing to do. I'm not making any excuses. But it's a very easy thing to do with the system that we have. And the way it works is when the guest calls in to book a room, it automatically charges their card. Unless we put a stop on it and then have them slide their card. We only do that 20% of the time. And they don't like doing that because it's a pain. It takes time. You have to stop people. There's a long line of people. There's always a long line when you have to have a customer do something like that. There's never a long line until you have to have a guest do something that's going to take a while, and then there's a long line. That's the way it works in customer service. But generally, they put their credit card details in, and when you check them in, either it automatically charges them, or you have them slide their card. Now, while I was there, they changed the rules 14 times. Not exaggeration, they changed the rules 14 times. They changed it. You have to slide their card. No, you don't have to slide their card. Yes, you do have to slide their card. No, you don't have to slide their card. Yes, you do have to slide their card. No, you don't have to slide their card. 14 times they changed it because they couldn't make up their minds about what they wanted us to do, and it was very difficult to know what to do when the rules kept changing, and everyone would tell you. Everyone that you talk to would give you a different answer. And it's just very frustrating, and it was very hard to know what the correct procedures were. But I messed up. I accidentally had the customer slide the card, and that charged the customer twice. And I noticed it immediately because I always dink around and look at the customer's report and keep them at the desk for a little bit longer, because it takes a little bit longer, but that's when you catch mistakes. And that is my policy, because I want to make sure if there is an error that you're catching it and you're fixing it right away. Especially when it's something like, oh, I charged a customer $260. That's a lot of money. And people don't just want to be charged $260. So I noticed right away, crap, I accidentally charged the card twice. I told the lady about the error. She said, oh no, can you get it off? I said, yes, I can get it off. So I worked to go through and delete the charge and void the credit card. Then we had to slide it again to charge it for real this time, not for pretend purposes. But it ended up only charging the guest once, even though I made the error. But because I made the error, it was noted in the record that I made the error. And when I was called into the manager's office to answer for the error, they said that I had made this error before, which was true. It's not something that happens a lot, but it is something that can happen, and it was something that I had done, and it was something that I had done more than once. It was something other people had done more than once too. Not that makes me sound like I'm 5, but it was true. Other people had done it as well, but I guess they only did it once, and I did it twice. Or if they did it twice, I don't. I personally know of someone who did it 3 times who's still working there. So I don't understand why, when I did it twice, it was such a big error that I had to be let go. I'm not making excuses for what I did. I screwed up, and I own that. And it's not an error I would make now. I would keep the customer at the counter longer to avoid making the error now. But it's too late to go back in time. I can't change it. And I can't promise you that there's not some new thing that I'll find to screw up, because I'm a human being and I'm going to make errors. I'm going to make mistakes. And I can't promise you that I won't make mistakes. And that is what they said to me. They said, we can't trust you not to make errors. And I said, no, I'm human. I'm going to make errors. And they said, well, this is coming from corporate. It's not coming from us. We don't want to do this, but we have to let you go because we can't trust you not to make errors. And I understand that what I did was wrong, and I understand that you shouldn't make the error at all, but I did fix the error immediately, and I did notify the customer that it happened, just in case she looked at her credit card statement and saw that there was another charge or got confused. I didn't want that to happen either. So I don't understand how I could have done it differently, except to not make the error in the first place. And I can't promise that I won't make errors. I'm human. I'm not saying it's okay what I did. I'm just saying I'm a human being and I'm going to screw up sometimes. And that's what happened this time. And I worked there for a year and a half without making errors like that until we got a new system, and it just screwed everything up, and it was hard to learn, and it caused a lot of problems. And that is the illustrious story of how I got fired from the Hampton Inn. And it's not a pretty story, and I'm not saying that it's anyone's fault but my own. I blame myself fully. And I loved my job, and the guests loved me, so it makes me very sad that I don't have that job anymore. Because it was a fulfilling job, and I liked what I did. I enjoyed coming into work every day. So it makes me sad that I no longer have that job. But I screwed up. Whoops. That's what happened.